Welcome, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. Shannon, how's it going today?
It's going so great, Justin. I am so glad to be here.
Awesome. So let's talk about listening skills.
Yes.
I always tell people listening is one of those things that's actually integral to effective communication. If you're going to be persuasive, if you're going to make an impact on an audience, whether it's one person or 1,000 people, you need to listen. You need to understand who they are, what they're all about, what their priorities are, what their assumptions are, what their biases are going into the conversation. So you have to have some kind of a framework, and then you can design your message accordingly for maximum impact. But being open to what the audience is giving you is critical. And it's not something that people in a business world oftentimes think about. You know, people oftentimes neglect the skill of listening.
It's true. So we have this game that we play in improv where we have two people, and as I'm talking now, I'm talking, and whatever letter I end on, so that would be an N, you would pick up and start with. And we do this because it forces you to listen to somebody all the way through to the very end of their or their sentence, and then pick up with the letter, showing them I'm listening. Here's proof that I'm listening, and now I'm talking. One of the things that people do is when people are in conversation with each other, they almost turn off, and we know, let's say we're talking about dogs, right? I know exactly what I'm going to say next. I'm going to talk about how I'm looking for a puppy. I'm not even listening to what you're saying about your sick dog. I'm looking for a puppy. So whenever you stop talking, I already have something to say. This is not listening. It's just internalizing. it's like having a monologue that's going on.
Well, really what it is, it's not listening. You know, it's like one person talking by themselves who happens to be physically in the same location as another person who, when this person stops yapping, that other person will start yapping, you know. And so how much information are we really exchanging here? You know, how much of an impact are we really making? But I also think that when you listen closely to people, I mean, there's a million positive things that come out of that, but one key thing is people can sense that you're listening to them, and they can sense that you're taking them seriously, and then they're more likely to take you seriously in turn, right? You can say it's like a karma thing. So when you initiate that process as a communicator, or as a presenter for that matter, it applies in a fairly one-way presentation context as well, then your audience is going to be more open to your message.
One of the things that I also love to tell people is that silence is okay, right? Taking a breath is just fine. If you are listening to someone, if you can practice this at home with your friends, children, partners, whatever. But if you listen to someone, and then when they are done talking, repeat what they just said in your head. Repeat it. Did you hear them? Repeat it. One, it's going to cause a silence. And your partner is going to go, did you hear me? That's what they're going to do immediately. But if you can repeat what they just said in your head, and then respond, not only are you giving weight to what they said, just like you said, right? We're listening. They feel respected. They feel heard. Not only are you giving weight to what they just said, but your body actually is internalizing, oh, if you said that, how must you feel? Who would say something like that? If you said that, you might be feeling sad. If I respond to a sad person, right, I might respond differently if I'm actually listening to what they say.
I was having a conversation with a client yesterday who is very social, actually, very extroverted, and she's great with her friends. The challenge is in the workplace, she doesn't have those same behaviors, so she becomes very formal and rigid in the workplace context. And so it was kind of a revelation for her to kind of explore the idea that, hey, you know, you can build rapport with some senior executive about the fact that she loves cats, or the fact that she loves, LeBron James, or the fact that she's really into this designer brand of fashion, let's say. You know, you can chat about that kind of social and emotional connection is really powerful in a corporate and business context, in a professional context. And it goes back to listening. You're not going to have the ability to engage in that conversation unless you're listening to the person.